Okay, hi Jojo, it's a pleasure to have you here. We are very glad that first of all we have to say, we want to say hello to the Planet Drum magazine.
Yeah, hello, Planet Drum Magazine.
Thank you very much. So the first question is, so what do you think about this 4 days drum camp that we did together in Vibo Valencia?
Well, I think it's a unique opportunity to have an encounter with people that share the interest on drums in a very intense situation, but in a relaxed environment. It's very beautiful here. It's like a dream, and it's great to interact with people that come from very far, from all over the world, from Siberia and Romania, and nevertheless, a lot of the point of view is informed by different sources. Of people look at the internet. There's so much information here, and sometimes it's difficult to really, you know, uh, uh, navigate inside of all this information. So my role, I see, to make a little bit clarity and to give people a point of view how they can distinguish themselves, understand where their positioning is, understand how things are connected, how they relate, how they can create a relationship with their level, and how to be able to improve it, and kind of separate in this ocean of possibilities, understand what is important, what should be a priority for artistic development.
Yeah, the second one is, we had the PA system yesterday and the last day from Bose that help us to have this beautiful PA system. I would like to know if what did you think about the audio you had during the concert? It was?
Well, I during the concert I hear mostly the acoustic drums because I play without the monitor. But I think people really like the sound. I asked, did it sound good? And everybody was like, yeah, it sounded great.
Perfect. So there is an interesting question that all the people want to know. All the people that love you want to know. Did you face any type of a crisis in your career? Did you find something difficult in your building your career?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Many crises, but I discovered the door next to it, which happened to be the more important door for me. So I think every defeat, always think maybe it's better that I did not get this gig, or maybe better that this not happened. That's like in life. You fall in love with this girl, but you cannot have her, and you're very sad. But because of this, you meet the woman that you're actually going to marry, and you say, okay, she's so much better than this other woman. Let's say this happens to like everybody. And I think we have to learn how to deal with defeat. We have to put our triumph in the in balance. We have to relate to them. Sometimes we have a success because we're lucky. Sometimes we have a success because we work really hard. You don't know why those things happen, and looking back, we can always create a narrative that makes sense, that legitimizes our point of view. But the way who I am and my point of view was shaped not just by my triumph and success, but also by my defeat. A closed door can be like a situation that you recognize is not the right situation for you. So for a big part of my career, I was working as a sideman. I was hired for other people to do recordings, to go on tour. And I realized that there was maybe a 50-50 situation where there was a good job and I had fun, or 50% I was not happy. Maybe the music was good, but maybe the people were difficult to
And
work
so,
with, or maybe the money was good,
another
but the
question,
music was
similar.
shit, and all those
Did you
different things. So
have
I
some
realized
closed door?
50%
I mean,
of
when
my time
you
as
went
a
to ask
sideman, I was not
to ask
happy, and I say,
something or
okay, I need
some
to be
job,
happy
and you received a
100%.
door
And
closed.
then I decided or understood that I had to start to become a leader. I have to do my own music, pursue my own vision of music, and I left being a sideman behind me, and I concentrated on my own work. So this opened up, and because I did this, today people know who Jojo Mayer is and what my music is and what I stand for. I wouldn't have done that if today I work jazz, then tomorrow I use R&B or hip hop, or I do different things, which I love all these different types of music, and I still enjoy to play those things. But I had to create my own thing, and I went there. So this door I decided not to go through, and I found the other door. Well, many drummers inspire me, many, 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 countless. I would say, but possibly like the biggest impact on me, like, this shock that you get one time in your life, the big one, that I got when from Tony Williams. Like I was just old enough, I knew enough about drumming, so I understood. It was almost like I knew something, and he just opened the big theater for me, and it's like I recognize myself. I could relate to this. I started to see how big this is, and Tony Williams, I got obsessed with Tony Williams, and I think he's the architect of the modern way of playing drums. But of course there was many other experiences that I had of groups, or that I see, or when I see Jaco Pastorius play live for the first time, it was a very big experience. But today, of course, those key experiences, they don't necessarily come from musicians, but they come from different encounters, for opportunities to meet some important people. Like recently, I started to interact, and working on some experimentation with Brian Eno, who was always a very big hero of mine as a concept. And now I got the opportunity to interact with him as a human being, and see that he recognized what I try to do, and we step into the unknown. And this is the beautiful experience with the guidance of someone like this, to go somewhere where you don't know where you're going to end up. This is a empowering experience that I treasure a lot. Well, I think what's important is to keep an open mind, not just to monofocus. I think what's important is to be ready to challenge the common narrative. Don't believe everything you see. Have a healthy sense of skepticism. Find out who you are, what type of animal you are, and try to explore this. You can always improve this, but you cannot turn an elephant into a rhino. So find out what type of animal you are, what type of person you are, and then express this person, be this person, like learn to be this person, and embellish it by acquisitions of information that you have, and pursue that. Find your own way.
That's great. So thank you very much, Jojo. It was a really, really inspiration to stay with you 4 days, and we are very glad that you enjoyed this drum camp. We are going to organize other drum camp, and we hope really, really in the future to have you again for other things together. So that was for us the best experience, and the guy from Russia, Italy, and all the world that came here, they also cried at the end of the drum camp. So that means that they were very happy. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and good luck with everything that you are going to do in the future.